Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another Reddit story for you. This one is a little bit different because it comes from relationship advice and is titled, I, 39 male, was falsely accused of something by my wife's father, 67 male. How do we move forward? My in-laws, 60s, have a lake house. It has a ton of space. It's a frequent vacation spot and every holiday is done there. They've owned it since before I met my wife, 37 female. 4 years ago, we were all staying there when my wife's cousin, 37 female, got a very foul email. I won't go into what it said, but suffice to say, it made her cry. My father-in-law works in IT. He examined the headers and determined that the email originated from an Android phone and that it was off of the lake house Wi-Fi. My in-laws are Apple users. I'm an Android user. My father-in-law accused me in front of everyone of sending the message. I denied it, let him search my phone, and told him I would never do that. He found nothing but made a big show of telling me I had attacked his family and that I was banned from his home. He subsequently made a big post on Facebook about how he will always protect his family and how I had violated his home. Just because you use an Android phone? Really? My wife now goes there with our kids alone. I have not been there and I have not spoken with my in-laws in 4 years. We do holidays on a separate day together, and then on the holiday I go with my family and she takes the kids to the lake house. Yes, it sucks. When asked why I wasn't there, my father-in-law told the kids that I do bad things. Okay. All right, buddy. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't start weaponizing the children. Papa. Over 4th of July week, her cousin got another email from the same address. Once again, Android, and once again on the lake house Wi-Fi. This time, I was 200 miles away. Oh, what you got now, IT man? What you got now?
Holy shit. Absolution. Dude.
This time I was 200 miles away. Well, when they checked, the other cousin, first cousin's sister, and her kids had Androids. They were bored and sending prank emails, not realizing they could be traced. My wife called me up, relayed the story, and asked me if I could come down for the rest of the week with the family. I told her that I would love to and to let me know what day everyone would be there for father-in-law to make a public apology to me. She got very quiet and said, they just want to move forward. I replied, I do too, and I will be happy to do so after your father publicly admits to the family that he was wrong, apologizes to me, apologizes to our children, and posts a public apology on Facebook.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. You don't get to make accusations like this and then just move past them whenever you realize you done up. You don't get to do damage and they'd be like, yeah, let's forget about that. You're good now. Come on in. Come and group hug. Group hug. Nope.
Doesn't work like that, IT man.
Doesn't work like that. My wife started crying and said he's not going to do that. I told her that I'm not going back to that lake house, that her father made it clear he doesn't consider me family, and until he makes it right, I am done with her entire family. He essentially wants to pretend like it never happened and make it look like he forgave me and welcomed me back. I am not on board with this. When they arrived back, I informed her that in the words of her father, I had to protect my family and our children would not be going back to the lake house either.
Yes.
My wife is devastated, begging me to forgive and move on. She says that her parents already feel awful and that they never said I wasn't family, and now I want to publicly shame and embarrass them. Oh, how the turntables. Oh yeah, it kind of sucks, huh? Yeah, kind of sucks being publicly shamed. But you know what the difference is? You guys did do this shit. You did do it. You shamed him for something he didn't even do. All you have to do is own up to something that you actually did, bitches. She says that it's not fair that I'm asking her to choose between me and her parents. Yeah, it is. I countered that. Her parents set up that choice 4 years ago, and she had already chosen. That's true. The next lake house trip is Labor Day weekend. I've already told her that I will be bringing the kids to my brother's that weekend for a barbecue and pool party. My wife has agreed to come with us, but she keeps bringing up the lake house and begging me to reconsider. It keeps ending up with my blood pressure spiking and her crying, so I've asked her to stop bringing it up. My wife and I do love each other very much. This is maybe like 5% of our relationship, but it's something that has been weighing on me, and I know it's driving a wedge between us. I have always felt that my wife chooses her parents over me. She says she's sorry that I feel that way, but it's not true. I told her that in 4 years, she didn't stand up for me because she didn't believe that I didn't do it. She vehemently denies this, saying that she's been trying to get her parents to let me come back since then. I don't want to unnecessarily shame her father, but making right the damage he did is non-negotiable. At the same time, my wife is crying every day. She's not eating, she's losing weight, and I know this is taking a tremendous toll on her. I don't want to be the reason that she has this much stress and anxiety. Damn it, boy, don't you waver. How do I address this with my wife without causing a confrontation? How can I ensure that my kids understand the situation without feeling caught in the middle? Top comment. I think confrontation is inevitable. It's 100% unacceptable that your wife has been letting her dad shit talk you to your own kids. That's flagrantly wrong. Also, it's enabling. I suppose your wife has a history of being steamrolled by him and is afraid of what he'll do if she stands up to him. Understandable. But that doesn't matter anymore. She's going to need to be a big girl and deal with her daddy. I can't believe she even kept seeing them after the Facebook post designed to embarrass and humiliate you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You should make your own post one way or the other. I can understand why you're not seething with anger. This nonsense has to stop. I don't. Does the wife think that the show she's putting on, and maybe it's not a show, I'm sure she really is upset, but she must think that he's going to be easier to crack than her dad because she's unrelenting. She's not stopping. She's not respecting his boundaries here when he's like, look, this is it. This is what has to happen. There is no alternative. So drop it. But she won't. She keeps pushing and pushing and pushing after not advocating for him a single fucking time over the past 4 years. I'm 100% with OP here. 100% with OP. OP is NTA. I don't know. The only way that you move forward from this is that he apologizes or your wife accepts that her dad is a giant piece of shit who can't own up to his own mistakes, and they're big ones, and she lets them go and goes no contact until they apologize. That's it. That's the ticket, everybody. Right now, daddy doesn't have enough pain to create change. If his little girl is like, Daddy, I'm sorry, you have to apologize, or I'm not going to be around you ever again. You're not going to see your grandkids ever again. Because what you did was terrible. You do bad things. He doesn't just have to set this right with John Q. Public because of his Facebook bullshit and the entire family. He's got to have a deep conversation with the children in front of in front of OP, and explain to the kids how wrong he was and what he did. The amount of cleanup has to be greater than the amount of damage. Otherwise, there are crumbs left behind, are there not? There is no other way. She has to get to a point where she either is willing to do that and that forces daddy's hands, or he remains immobile and you don't have to deal with the asshat ever again. If he's willing to treat people like that with no more evidence than the operating system of the device, him all the way. He's a piece of shit. And your wife not being willing to stand up to him, I understand, and this commenter's probably right. She probably has a history of being steamrolled by him, and she's afraid of what would happen if she did stand up to him, but she's gonna have to. Should have done it 4 years ago. She also has to make a really big apology to you too, OP. Shit. What would you guys do in this? What would you do in this situation? Yeah, wife definitely needs to apologize as well. Has to.